Hey everybody, Jeremy here. Today I want to talk to y'all about the term numbers matching, because there's a lot of people that just throw that out there, and I really don't believe they have any idea what numbers matching means. For instance, it's a numbers matching car, but it has no engine or transmission. It can't be numbers matching if there's no engine transmission. Or numbers matching was a 318, but now has a 440. That's not numbers matching. Or it's even in the Ford and Chevy world, you know, numbers matching was a 350 car, now has a 454. Something like that. It can't happen. Numbers matching means that the car has all of the equipment that it was born with from the factory. So it's got the original engine, the original transmission, has the data tag, has the body numbers, etc. And there's even more than that doesn't necessarily mean the car's not numbers matching if it doesn't have it, but it just adds to the whole thing. Today I'm going to use the 72 Charger Rally. It's a 444 speed car as an example and go over it. Again, the same kind of things apply for Ford and Chevy and other cars. I just have this car available to use for this lesson, for lack of better terms. There's a few things. I don't believe that the engines on a lot of cars were stamped until like the mid 60s. I don't know that for sure, but I know by the late 60s, early 70s, everything was getting stamped. Engine, transmission, had multiple body numbers in different locations on different vehicles. And again, like I said, I'm just gonna use this Charger because this is what I have right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that, and we're gonna start with the VIN tag because that's the basis of where the numbers start, the VIN tag and the VIN number. So let's go ahead and start talking about things and looking at things. Okay, so as you can see, this is the VIN tag, and it's gonna have the full VIN number that matches the title and all of that stuff. And in a lot of cases, it's not gonna have the first part. It's not gonna have the WH23U. Some will start with the 2A 136276. Some will just have the A136276, or I think even some just have the 136276. So you've got the VIN tag, that's where it starts, and that's going to match the title. Then this one, it doesn't have the fender tag on the car. I do have it, and I'll show that later. Then we're going to go right here on the core support. And you can see this has, kind of hard to focus, right here, you've got the A2136276. So that means the body matches the VIN. Now, most cars also have it stamped somewhere in the rear body, in the trunk rail, right here. I've seen it stamped on the disc panel, the speaker panel on some vehicles. I've looked and looked on this car, and unfortunately my little Makita drill ran out of battery before I could actually find it. But usually it's stamped somewhere here. I don't see the number on this one. I don't see it up on that panel. I have seen it even stamped up here, but like I said, I ran out of battery before I could get it all cleaned. I'm not sure exactly where they are on General Motors and Ford cars, but some of there's going to be more body numbers. I've heard of them underneath the bumper, etc. So then this one I don't believe necessarily makes it numbers matching or not, but on an original paint car, original panel, you can see right here on this sticker, it's got the same VIN, and it's a full VIN, WH23U 2A136276. So you can see this is body. The body numbers all match, but that does not necessarily make the car numbers matching, because if it has no engine, no transmission, then it's, you know, just the body matches, not numbers matching. This car does have the numbers matching engine, but does not have the numbers matching transmission. So I'm going to show you really quick. This is a real 18 spline 4-speed. This is a Hemi 4-speed transmission, and it's got the dual, you can see the dual, it's hard to see right there, for the shifter. So this one is correct for that car, though it is actually in 1970. And you know that because right here, it has the VIN number, like I was saying, for another car, which is A17623. So, and starts with a 0. So you know this is from a 1970 model, likely an E-body because of the second shifter point. Most of them, like the older ones for B bodies, are like this 18 spline over here, which doesn't have one on the tail shaft, just the one up there. So you know that one's like a 68 to 70 B body. So now we're going to go to this block. This is the correct and numbers matching block for the 72 Charger Rally. And you know that because right here, it has the VIN, A136276. Also, it's going to show up here on this pad, maybe you can see it, that it's a 440 HP, 1972. It's going to have like all these different codes, and you might not be able to see it in the video, but there is a pad that is kind of an identification pad, but does not actually show that it's numbers matching. So this car, even though it has the numbers matching engine, because it does not have the numbers matching transmission, this car is not entirely numbers matching. If that was the correct transmission with the correct VIN number, then this car would be completely numbers matching, which a lot of people think that it makes it way more valuable. And on certain cars, I agree, it does. It definitely makes it more valuable. But if you're just going to drive it and enjoy it, build it how you want it and have fun. It really doesn't matter. But a collectible standpoint, I will agree, especially on a car as unique and rare as this one, it definitely will make a difference in the value. But what's to say that transmission's not out there somewhere? This numbers matching transmission, I know for a fact, is out there somewhere, because it was a numbers matching car when it belonged to the guy prior to me. And he sold an 18 spline transmission, and when the guy picked it up, instead of picking up the one that I just showed you, he accidentally picked up the original transmission for this car. And Larry did not know that until several years later. And so he does not remember who he sold this transmission to. But the possibility or the chances of this car being numbers matching again, though slim, it is there. It just takes somebody actually seeing this video maybe, or seeing this car once I list it on eBay, or once somebody owns this car, they can reach out on different forums on Facebook or other social media in groups and whatnot. And you never know, you may be able to find it and trade out. So again, this car, there is a chance that it could be numbers matching again, but unfortunately I do not have the transmission. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to the fender tag and whatnot, and we'll go over that. And then I'm going to do a whole video on this car shortly, and then it will be listed on eBay probably in a couple weeks. Anyway, so let's get over to the build sheet, fender tag and stuff, and continue with the numbers matching stuff. So here is more to the numbers matching. Now, a car comes with a build sheet, which is what this is, and a fender tag or data tag, or I believe Ford and Chevy call them cowl tags. And this basically has like some of the codes. It has the VIN number, what the engine was, the transmission. This one is pretty hard to read on the top. However, it's not too bad on the back side. The nice thing about this car is it also has the build sheet. And you can see again, has the VIN number up here, as the fender tag does. And in my opinion, and I believe a lot of other people's opinion, a car cannot be numbers matching without at least one of these, because this is going to tell you how the car was built. I believe to be numbers matching, it has to have at least one of these. Otherwise, people can fake a lot of things. Because, I mean, this car was obviously born B5, which, you know, it shows on the fender tag as well as the build sheet. The build sheet is definitely a lot more specific than just the tag. But if you don't have this or this, you could paint the car a completely different color than the blue and say it's original color or whatnot, and you just don't know. This makes it very honest what the car is and is not. This more so than the fender tag. There are a lot of people out there that will fake fender tags, and there's a lot of telltale signs of a fake tag versus an authentic tag. And a lot of people can spot them pretty easy. However, there's also a lot of people that know all of those telltale signs and can make a very authentic fake tag. There are a few people out there that can sort of make a fake build sheet, but I mean, these lines right here, these are from seat springs and from the, the build sheet sitting in the springs for a long time. That's pretty hard to replicate. So, I mean, you could probably spot a fake build sheet pretty easily. Like I said, most cars, Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, all of them have these. I mean, they all had them from the factory. Some cars did not have build sheets from the factory. Other cars, I've seen Chrysler Corporation cars with up to 5. But they all had a data tag from the factory. I believe I've heard that Ford and maybe even Chevy, you can actually get these from Ford Corporation or Chevy Corporation or General Motors. I'm not sure if you still can or not. Rumor is, or the story is, that Chrysler, the reason you can't with any of the Chrysler Corporation cars is they all got lost in a big fire back in like the mid-70s or something. I don't know how true that is, but that's kind of the story. But anyway, I'm going to go over more on this specific build sheet and fender tag in a different video that's related just to this car. I need to learn personally how to decode these for Fords and Chevys so I can kind of show you guys how to do that, but I need to learn how to do it myself. Really cool information right here. Lots of really cool stuff on these build sheets. It's incredible how much this will tell you about a car. The same with the fender tags on a lot. This one, for the Christ World, it's a Lynch Road car, so there's really not as much information on it. Like I said, you can see there's not a ton of information here. This is very, very much more important. But like I said, I personally believe that without either at least the data tag or at least the build sheet, you can't really have a numbers matching car. Other people might disagree with that, but that's how I feel. Again, you cannot have a numbers matching car if it does not have original engine and transmission and body numbers. It just doesn't happen. So be cautious when looking at cars that claim numbers matching, and make sure that the people that are selling it have researched it and prove what it is, and do your own due diligence and make sure that the car is what it is. Especially in the collector car hobby, if it's a high dollar car, you want to make sure the car is what it is advertised as, or what you're told it is. Part of it is the seller's fault, but part of it is the buyer's fault if they get ripped off. I mean, if you don't see the car yourself and you get sent something totally different, I mean, I don't know. Just leave that up to you. It's very terrible when people misrepresent cars, and there's no excuse for that at all. But also, when you're going to go buy a $100,000 car or a $50,000 car or even a $25,000 car, what is a $500 plane ticket to go out and check it out for yourself? It's kind of funny how you see a lot of people that honestly probably don't even own a car or own really cheap ones that complain about that kind of stuff. But really, if you're going to buy a car for even $10,000, I mean, what's another $500 or $600? It's just do your due diligence and go check the car out in person. Make sure it is what it really is supposed to be, and go from there. I've found cars, even cheap cars, where they are very, very, very much misrepresented or told something that they are not. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are liars and whatnot, but there's also a lot of people that just don't know. And, I mean, you can't really blame them for just not knowing. But anyway, I hope this was some sort of education for you guys. and cleared up like what numbers matching really should mean. Like I said, I've seen all sorts of cars out there advertised as numbers matching with no engine and transmission. Can't happen. Just can't happen. It's got to have everything that it was born with to be numbers matching as far as drivetrain, bodies, and data tag. Anyway, again, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.